So, about 3 weeks ago, I experienced the scariest moment of my career. And I was going to make this big, long post about it. I had things written out that I wanted to share because it needs to be shared. Um, but every time I wrote it out, I wanted it to be explained in a way that, like, my hairstylist friends would understand what I was saying, what happened, and the clients would understand because there's this message that I'm trying to get across with this whole story that's happened. So I thought, why not just make a video? So about 3 weeks ago, I had a client come in who wanted to go, typical request for April, lighter for summer. She was about a level 7, 8. Her hair felt like it was in good condition. You always talk to them, feel it out, all that. It was in good shape. We decided on the best route for her, what she was looking for, her goal. She didn't have any crazy requests. She didn't want to be white blonde. She just wanted to be lighter for summer. So we talked, and a full head of baby lights was our best option because she was a level 7, 8. We just used 20 volume. Nothing crazy, because like I said, she didn't have any off-the-wall requests of wanting it white blonde, which sometimes we get those requests. So just 20 volume. Nothing crazy. So we start back here, work our way up the top, the normal thing. So we're foiling. This girl's got a ton of hair. I mean, ponytail this big around, thick, wavy, long. So we're working, and we're talking, and we're going, talking about school, talking about everything. Finish the whole back section, making our way up right about here. I go to grab my next foil as I'm in that section, and I grabbed it, go and put it on the head, and as I put it on the head, this part of my hand touched the previous foil that I just put on that had only probably been on there 30 seconds, a minute, maybe a minute, and it felt warm on my hand, and it just was it kind of freaked me out a little bit because I'm like, obviously foils get hot, bleach gets warm, we all know that, duh, but it had only been on there a second or two, so it kind of just freaked me out a little bit. So I just nonchalantly went, check these guys back here, that if anything crazy is going to happen, if anything is going to overprocess or weird, it's going to be back here where these ones were put on, have been sitting the longest. Checked them, perfect, gold, where they needed to be, because I still had to finish the whole head and let her sit. Those weren't warm, which was weird, because that one that was on for 30 seconds was. So, whatever, go on, do the next one, and then suddenly my client says to me, is it normal for this to be extremely hot? I look, and seconds, this is like an out-of-body experience. I've never in my life of 6 years doing hair, I've heard of it happening, but it's never happened to me, and I still have I feel like I have PTSD from it because it was crazy. Within seconds of her saying that, I start to hear sizzling like bacon, sizzling on those two foils. And I go to open them up. It was so hot in that minute to 2 minute time frame that it burnt my finger. It was that hot. I go to rip them off, and smoke like you're burning pizza, smoke is coming off these two pieces and just filling into the lights. I've never once interrupted Vanessa with a client, and I yelled her name because I was just having a what the hell kind of moment. Rip them off. I go to rip off the one behind it that wasn't that warm, and that one didn't even lift at all yet. Just these two foils had a chemical reaction and smoked like burnt bacon. So I'm shaking, the comb is shaking, my knees are shaking, everyone's salon was packed. So I breathe for a second. Those guys are sitting there. And in those 2 minutes that they were in those foil, they lifted to that perfect, like, chicken fat yellow that you would tone a blonde with. So I spray them off with water, really spray them off, spin them up, clip them up, and I just keep working. I'm shaking like a leaf, feeling and looking at each little section, making sure that whatever the hell just happened on those two foils isn't going to happen on the rest of her head. While she processed, I sat with her because I was a nervous wreck. Because when you've been doing something every day, especially for me, 90% of my clients are blonde. I use foil and bleach all day long. And when you've been doing something like that for almost 6 years and you've never had something like that happen and you don't know why it happened, it's gonna like freak you the hell out and you almost don't like trust yourself for a second. So we got to talking, and come to find out she uses Pantene, and it was like a light bulb went off in my head. 2 days prior, a hairstylist friend of mine shared a video on Facebook, and I've seen them before all the time, that if you use these kinds of shampoos like Pantene, Suave, Garnier, John Frieda, whatever, these $2 shampoos, that you can actually take scissors to the dry hair and they will basically pull wax off, because these cheap shampoos contain wax. And when wax or plastic comes in contact with bleach, color, any kind of chemical service that we do in a salon, it can cause a chemical reaction and basically cook it and cause smoke. I've seen videos of it. I've seen posts about it in these blogs and forums that all us hairstylists join or are part of, but I've never actually seen it happen before my eyes. We think that what happened is because she just has so much hair that a little bit of it wasn't rinsed up top. It happens. When I have hair extensions, there's times where I can feel back here in between tapes or whatever that I've left conditioner in there. The difference is professional shampoo, professional conditioner doesn't contain plastic, wax, and God knows what else. That can potentially, when coming in contact at the salon, ruin your hair. If this client was not as cool and sweet as she was and didn't speak up and didn't say that it was burning, if I wasn't standing right there, if I had just walked away, that could have been terrible. The hair was fine. Her color turned out beautiful. Like I said, those two pieces that were sitting up there lifted to what I needed them to in 60 seconds flat. I got lucky. But the whole point I'm trying to get at is two sides. One, stylist point of view, two, for the clients. For the stylist, it is unfair to us because, let me backtrack. We don't push for our clients to buy retail because we want to add money to their service bill at the end of the night. We do not push for clients to buy retail so it looks better on our numbers at the end of the month. We don't want more money. None of that. We push for clients to buy retail so that we know what the hell they're putting on their hair, so that in 4 to 8 weeks when they come back to us, we're on a common ground of understanding. And we care. We care about your hair. We don't want you to have an experience like that. We don't want you to go home and put something that's containing wax on your hair. We don't want a very rare, but obviously possible, chemical reaction to happen in the salon. From the client's point of view, honestly, it's unfair for the client. They don't know. They didn't go to beauty school. they don't have the education that we have in products and chemical reactions and ingredients, and all of that. They have no idea. They see something and they see it as a cheaper price and they're like, well, that'll make it clean. It says moisturizing on it, or it says color protection on it, or it says toning shampoo on it. They don't know. So it's unfair to them as well because they don't know. You cannot spend hundreds of dollars on your dream hair color, on a color service, and then maintain it with something that costs $2. You just can't. It's just not how things work. You just can't. I'm sorry. But long story short, I had this client come back in 2 days later because, like I said, we've all had our oh shit moments behind the chair where we think about it for days. Well, this was that on steroids. I lost sleep over it for a while, but I had her come in that following Friday just because I wanted to take a look at it. I thought there's no way in hell that those little pieces that were burnt and singed aren't going to need some kind of Olaplex or something, and I care. We as stylists do care about the health of your hair. And she was like, oh yeah, she came back in. The hair felt fine. You couldn't even see where it happened and where it didn't because all the hair felt fine. But what's crazy is that chemical reaction was so strong and so hot that this girl, who God love her, she was so sweet. And like I said, if she wasn't as sweet and understanding as she was, this could have been bad. But that reaction was so hot that where the foil was sitting on her head, the foil itself burnt her scalp. That's how hot it was. The tips of my fingers where I pulled it off in those 3 seconds were raw, and it was on her scalp, like I said, for 30 seconds to a minute and a half, 2 minutes, whatever. She's good now. We talked every day. I texted her, was just like, how's your scalp feel? Like, is everything okay? Like I said, it was just 2 foils, so just imagine, like, that. It scabbed, and it flaked, and now she's good, and she has beautiful blonde hair, and we're good. But like I said, imagine if it was somebody that didn't fully rinse, or like really didn't rinse, and that stuff was everywhere, and we just had an explosion reaction everywhere. Now, every single client that walks in my door, I ask, what have we been using? What have you been using lately? You know, and like, even my long-term ones, those were things I normally wouldn't ask before, but when something like this happens to you, it freaks you the hell out, and it sticks. So, that's my story. I'm done rambling. Hair can be scary. Box color, we all know, is scary. But even these shampoos and these products that are drugstore, grocery store, department store, they're scary too. And I just felt like it needed to be shared. I have a lot of hairstylist friends on social media and stylists supporting stylists. It's good that I like that we can all share and help each other out. So thanks for listening to me rant. And for clients, use good shampoo. Buy your shampoo at a salon. At a salon, nowhere else. I don't care if it's the same bottle that you saw in your salon and you saw it at TJ Maxx. Buy your shampoo at your salon because we care about your hair and we want to know what's being put on it when it's not in front of us. That's all I got. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.